We are waiting for people to join because we see the number of attendees growing any minute. So maybe we will wait for the introductions that more people join the webinar. And feel free to use the chat at any time to put your questions that will be moderated and answered at the end of the webinar. So please give us another minute or so, maybe less. Can anyone please confirm that on the chat you are seeing the slides, please? Okay, yes, I received a lot of yes, so thank you guys. Great, well, we can start. I see that many people have joined already. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar from Kaleyra. I'm Valeria Magoni, the head of marketing, and I'm the host. I will interview today Nelia Perotti, that is a people and culture specialist at Kaleyra. Welcome, Nelia.
Hi, good morning, good evening, everyone.
Yes, depending on time zones, we have
Yes,
an
in
audience that
fact.
is spread all around the world, as I can
Yeah.
see from names. So this webinar is going to be in English only. You will get the recording afterwards. So if you cannot join for the whole time, that's not a problem because you will receive the recording and you will be able to watch it later. So as well will be the people that cannot attend today. So we are here to speak today about our culture, our multicultural environment. And but before, I want to introduce Nelia to you. So Nelia is a psychopedagogist. She comes from an experience in coaching, in recruitment, in human resources managing. She has a lot of experience in that. And she loves to investigate human behavior, human interactions, and how to make people excellent. So this is actually going to be an interesting conversation with her. And you can ask any questions at any time through the public chat. We will address questions at the end. So let's start from what is Kaleyra today. So Kaleyra, we said it's a multicultural environment, and it can be seen by the audience that we have today. You know, we have many people from
Yes.
different countries. So what's the story of this company?
Well, we are not a young company. We have already almost 22 years, but we're still young in our soul. So the company was founded in 1999 by Dario Calogero. At the time, it was called Ubiquity. In 2009, Calogero had a big dream that was break the frontiers of Italy, and Ubiquity acquired Solutions Infini. In 2016, sorry, acquired Solutions Infini that was founded in 2009. In 2018, we grew further and we acquired Hook Mobile in the United States. And at the end of 2018, with the name Kaleyra, we started to quad in New York at the end of 2019. That was a very nice moment to share with everybody. We were there watching the screen, and Kaleyra hand ringing the bell was so exciting. I have to say that was a huge moment. And we're still growing. We now have to introduce to our people Engage. We are going to welcome them in the next few months. And we're still growing. So as you can see, we started in Italy. a small group of people doing something pretty new at the moment. Then we went to include a lot of people in India and the States, and again in the States and South America. We have no more boundaries. Yeah, we're everywhere. We have people. If you move to the map, we can see that we are really everywhere. We have offices all around the world, people working all around the world, even where we don't have legal entities. So we are spreading out very fast. Yes.
Yeah, let's speak a bit about this. These are offices and locations in which we are.
Yes.
But these are not actually the only ones. Before, these were the offices where people were going to work in the morning.
Yeah.
And then at some point, we discovered that we have many other locations. We have people from other Italian cities. We have people from other American cities. We have people from other Asian cities. And it doesn't matter anymore because basically everyone is working from their home.
Yes. Well, after the COVID last year, things changed very fast. And I remember one meeting a couple of months before the pandemic situation where we were discussing about we want to ask for the smart working and how many days, and they will say yes or no. And for one day to another, the discussion was closed. We were all on working from home, and we were all the time, 100% of our time working from home. And I think that was a very hard moment for the company. It was a decision that was not even thought about for a moment. On Friday, we went to work normally. Sunday afternoon, the company sent an email saying, starting tomorrow, you are all working from home for your safety. We had a great IT team that worked that week. Even if they knew that they had to stay at home, they're still working for us to be connected and for the work to be done in the proper way. And yes, and from there we have people that hasn't been in an office for more than a year already, and things are still working. And that was the funny part of the story, because we were discussing about how it could be, and now we have the answers, so we can go back.
Actually we did great. The fourth quarter of the last year was the best quarter ever for Kalera in terms of revenues. And maybe we can give people like some data, some information about our sites and how big we are in terms of volumes and revenue and offices. Maybe you want to go through this slide as well.
Yes, as you can see, we manage millions and millions and billions of messages and voice calls. And that's a huge amount of messages and calls. We are talking about almost 26 billion messages and 4 billion voice calls. I mean, it's really a massive number. Considering that we are all around the world, it's a challenge, because we need to also manage messages from different countries and to different countries, and that's not always easy. But we had a very good year, apart from COVID, obviously. But the last quarter was fantastic. And the total revenue for last year was 47 million. So we can't complain. And obviously, probably because of COVID, we have to be honest, probably these numbers are also because of COVID. But our people worked really, really good, because these numbers couldn't be true if all the people in Kalera were not working very hard to make this happen. I mean, it's a team result.
Yeah, in relation to team's efforts, actually, one thing that surprised me when I joined Kalera, I joined during the pandemic, so
Yes,
I was
you and
hired.
a whole third of the company.
Yeah, exactly. Together with another about 90
Yeah.
people, I joined during the
Yes.
pandemic. I joined in April last year. And the one thing that surprised me a lot was the degree of collaboration that the people were having in working also on some uh, social projects. For example, Project
Yes.
Step One in India, but also the collaboration with the Red Cross in Italy. And
Yes.
that's actually related to the values of the company, I think. It's not weird that happened, considering that one of the values of the company is collaboration across boundaries, which I have to say,
Yes.
honestly, this is my preferred one. You are not supposed to prefer one over the others, but this is my favorite one.
We
So
all have our preferences, so it's okay. But yeah, because collaborate beyond boundaries. At the end, it's a very wide concept. It's beyond boundaries. So what are these boundaries? It's countries, your position, your team, your role. It's really boundaries in any way you can understand the word. And our people do that. And that is the only way that we can arrive to the results that we are having at the moment. Otherwise, if we are all closing our own teams and working just our piece of garden all the time, we would not be able to arrive to the results that we are having now. So these values are very important for us, and we try to put them in practice every day. Some days are easy, some others maybe not that easy, but it's like life. And but we need to remember these values, and we work for them. We try to put them in practice in everything we do. Yes. So
yeah.
what you
Also,
said, you're
also,
right in. Sorry, it's okay.
no,
Sorry.
go on, go on.
No, you were saying that you're right in April. And as you said, more than 90 people was hired last year. And during COVID, we know that a lot of people in the world remain with no work. They lost their jobs, and a lot of companies had to close. And we are we had the privilege of being one of those companies that grew and gave the chance to have a job to another 100 people. So we are honored of having that privilege. And talking to Dario Calogero once, that I asked, why did you create it, Kalera? He told me that one of his biggest goal was help people and give people the chance to have a job and to have a better life. And if I have in mind these words, I have to say that in 2020, we did what Dario wanted. When everybody was closing and a lot of people were remaining at home with no job, we gave the chance to work to 100 people. We help people. So it's I think that it's a very good how to say it's a very good point where we arrived. Yeah,
Well,
but we move on from there because we're still hiring. So yeah.
yes, exactly. I was just saying that
Yes.
actually maybe now we can switch to another very important topic that I know is interesting for many, because I see from the attendees list that some people are not yet employees of Clara. Many
Mm.
people, actually, most of. So they might want to know what it's like to work at Calera. So what is like to work from home at Calera, and maybe we can start from the definition of remote work versus smart work, because sometimes the two words are used for, let's say, in the same way, but they're not the same.
Yes, they're not. Actually, since last year, we are working from home. We started to work from home in an emergency situation. Working from home means that you take your computer and you work at home, and that's it. The smart working idea is much more complex. You need to have a mindset. You need to understand that you need to have a place to work. Even if you're at home, you need to have a secure connection. You need to have different ways of communication with your manager. You need to learn to communicate in the proper way because you can't see them every day. So your face is not talking anymore. Your hands are not talking anymore. Your body is not talking anymore. So you need to understand how to use your language very clean and very clear. And that's not easy, actually, considering that the 95% of our communication is not verbal. So it's a very big challenge. And most of all, you understand when you are on a smart working that you have goals and you have to follow them and you have your objectives. And time is very relative because you can go to pick your kid at school easily, no problem. And then maybe you can work later or start before, and time is very flexible. So the smart working system, it's more structured than just working from home. Working from home is just a little bit of the smart working process. And we started working from home last year, and step by step, most of all after the third quarter of last year, we started to evolve into a smart working company. We want to be in a smart working company. Probably not fully smart working, 100%, but we want to be considered a smart working company. Not just because we work from home or from whatever you want, but because we work smart. It means that we don't care if you are 7, 8, 10 hours in front of your computer, but we care about your results. So it's okay if you take your time to have a life, and we care about your life. So turning into a smart working company means to change the whole view of the reality, the whole view of how we think work and how we think relationships, because we believe that working from home, or it doesn't mean that you don't have to make grow your personal relationships. We encourage everybody to communicate apart from what you have to do because of your role. You can just chat to everybody and understand how they are living. And that is great, because I think that our people is connected to the colleagues, not just for the project that we are working on together, but sometimes just to say how things are doing, and that's good. That is very good. It's very human. I think that the pandemic situation helped us to be more human. We were talking about the other day about, you have your cat on your shoulders and no one will say anything about that. You have your kids studying at home because they can't go to school, and they come into the room where you're having a very huge, important meeting, and everybody will laugh about it. So we're not concerned about people's life into this wide office that we have now. So everything is a little bit mixed.
Yeah, it's like the office has become larger, and now it comprises all our homes. Everyone knows everybody's husbands or wives, and it's nice also because you're right, it makes everything more human. What I see is that also on the other side there are obstacles, to make this happen. Let's just make an example. Everything that is the small talk that you do at the coffee machine, or just when you ask someone about their own life, just because you're curious, that is partially lost if you don't pay attention to it. It's easy to lose it. And the reason is that you have a Zoom call, which is supposed to last 45 minutes, and it cannot last longer because everybody is busy, and you don't have time for that. But in reality, that's a big part of the social life of a company, and it helps building a culture. So what I want to discuss with you is, what have we done? I mean, I know what we've done, but maybe you can tell the audience. So what have we done to make so that people learn how to behave and how to create personal relationships and actually excel also in an environment that is so weird and so impersonal sometimes,
Yeah, and so new, with a lot of new rules that we didn't know before. Well, we've been participating, we've been working a lot on this because, the HR department of Calera had to learn as well. We are part of the of the whole situation. We are not a separate part. So we've been working a lot on this. We try to learn how things work and transmit to everybody, spread all around the company few concepts about this. We are at the moment participating to a pilot in Italy in particular for this, where 20% of the Italian company is participating to a pilot of smart working with training sessions and legal sessions where they are going to learn what the law says in Italy. That is, all these topics are ruled very, very clearly. And people was very interested and happy to have this information. And most of all, they were happy to understand that we care about it, that we didn't leave everybody alone in this situation. And at the beginning, the first thing we did was to make clear all the rules for working from home. So we created this set of rules, internal rules for all the people. And after that, we ran a survey around the end of March last year. We ran a survey asking not just, about how they work about how things were going on in real life for all our people. Our employees are more than just what they do at Calera. We understand that, and we wanted to know how things were going at home. We had a lot of people that lives alone and was close for months alone at home, and that's very critical. We had a lot of people that lost their family members or pets, or we have people who lost care relatives because of COVID. We had employees with COVID that were, at the hospital. So we know that, and we don't pretend not to know. And yeah, okay, no worries. When you will be okay, come back and still working. No. We are with you. We're all with you. So you will have your peers talking to you, asking, how are you? And we are going to ask you, the company is going to ask you, how are you? So this survey had an 85% of participation. That means that people needed to talk about what was going on. Because the participation was so high, it means that they needed to say what was going on. And was a very nice moment to realize that we could be that other part of the conversation for them to talk. And now we are participating in an anthropological study from the La Sapienza University at Rome. I found that fantastic, Anthropological studies are those that kids will study at school in a few years, and we will be part of that story, because this group of researchers are talking with different companies, and they are taking a big piece of population of these companies, and they're interviewing people to understand how life changed because of not just the COVID, but the effects of the COVID at work, and how they feel working from home and how things are going on. And the good thing of our participation is that we are not, we didn't give them just a bunch of people from Italy. They are interviewing people from all around the world. And that is awesome, because they will really have a picture of a reality that is vast, that is enormous, that is bigger than what we have in Italy. So we encourage our people to participate in this project, and let's see what they found. We don't know yet. We didn't have the reports yet. We're so excited about it.
It will be interesting also, because from the survey you mentioned before, that survey was global. I mean, all activities that Calega does are typically global, typically involve all the regions in which we are. And the results of that survey were not actually the same in the various geographies. Also because, the COVID pandemic affected the countries in a different way in different periods, but also because, people tend to behave differently in a crisis, also depending on their experience and origins and typical behavior and how their family is composed. So that will be interesting for sure. So let's go back to practicalities, because I'm sure that this is interesting for many. So when we have spoken a bit about the benefits of working at Calega. We mentioned the possibility of picking your children at school and so on. How would you summarize the benefits and at the same time the duties that are related to working at Calega, the main ones?
Well, as I said, you will have a very flexible time. That at the end will be flexible is a related term as well, because you will be constrained because of your duties at of your role, meetings and stuff, but you will have the freedom to organize your agendas as best for you as well. You will work in a very, very multicultural environment. I would like to make the point that we have more than 20 nationalities working together. So just for organizing this webinar were 3 nationalities. Just for that, in this small group, we were 3 different nationalities. So I said everything, and we were 4 working. So it's a very enrichment environment. So you will have the chance to work with people all around the world. It is a very good thing for you, for everybody that want to grow up professionally. But it's also a challenge because, as you said before, it's not just for COVID that people work in different ways and think in different ways and manage time in different ways. So who wants to work for Kalera knows that he can go to pick up the kid at school, but he knows that communication could be hard. They will learn from their peers, but they need to learn to communicate in the proper way, to work in the proper way, and be as flexible as possible. Not just the time and the company are flexible. You need to be flexible. You need to have a mindset that allows you to work independently, that make you work without your boss talking over your shoulder, telling you what to do, because you know what you have to do. You need to be professional, and you need to be sure that the information goes through the channels that has to go in the proper way. So chances are that you could have meetings with a lot of nationalities every day. The opportunity of that meeting is that you will learn a lot. The issues that you can find is understand the way other people talk, understand what other people want to say with the words. And that's a big learning process. So you need to be willing to learn. You need to be eager to learn. And you need to be open to learn, because you will be learning every day. So
there are a couple of things you said that are interesting to me. The first one is about objectives. Setting
yes.
up clear objectives is the
Yes.
starting point for doing management by objectives instead of micromanagement or, let's say, traditional
Yes.
management. On the other side, working with international peers and colleagues and managers requires you to be very open-minded.
Yes.
You cannot just keep your way of working over and over, because you're continuously receiving inputs about how things might be done differently. So,
Yes.
in particular, about objectives and how we incentivize these the share of knowledge within the company. What can you tell our audience, in particular, about objectives and how we set them and how we check on them?
So we are changing at the moment, and we're implementing now a new way of objectives. We went through a KPI traditional model where objectives were personal and you had to perform, to a model that takes the team results. And this is a very big change, because it means that, we were working on that before the COVID. So it was a big change also before. But with the COVID and the new situation, working by objectives and key results became much more important. Because now you will not be blamed because you performed low or not that good, but your team. So you need to work not just for you. You need to work on a team. So the evaluation that will be done of your job will be done in a team environment, in a team context. Obviously, then we have the appraisal, the normal appraisal, and the processes and everything. but the objectives are managed in terms of team results. And if you work from home, that's good. It means that you know who you have to contact to arrive to the results, and you have to be interconnected. And I think that helps people to communicate more. Now, I need to talk to you if I need something from a website. I can't do it by myself, but I don't work with you every day. You're not part of my team, or I am not part of your team, but we need to work together because we have a common goal. Because goals are not, they don't belong to one person anymore. And I think that is a great evolution. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to specify that this doesn't mean that people do not have individual performance measured. I mean,
No.
if everyone contributes in the same way, it's obviously evaluated positively. But if
Yes.
someone excels, it's not that the company will not notice or will not acknowledge that. But it's basically about setting up goals that give a direction and that are the same for the whole team so that they don't conflict with each other, right?
Yes, and as I said, we have the normal appraisal process for that as individual. Because one thing in Kalera is that we're not just time flexible. We are a flexible company, and you can grow up or to the right, to the left, whatever you want. If the company has the chance to move you and you show that you can do a certain job, no one will come to tell you, oh, no, you are on that team. You have to wait for your boss to retire. That will not happen. You can grow. You can just need to show how much you value, and you can grow.
Yeah, this is interesting. Is there like a personality profile that you would say it fits perfectly Kalera, and like some personality things that instead you say do not fit Kalera? For example, I would say that if you're not the type of person that is very open-minded or wants to be, possibly this is not the right place for you. But it's not because we don't want you, it's possibly because it's best for you, you know.
You will not feel comfortable with us. Yes. If you are in Italy and you want all the Italian people talking all Italian and working in the Italian way, we are
and the
not
same
the
for
best
any
place
other
for you.
country in the world.
Absolutely, any place. So this is not the right place for you. You will not feel comfortable. So we have more than 40 positions open at the moment, and I invite all the people that is listening to go to have a look on our website, kalera.com, go to careers, and you will find all the offers. And many of these offers don't even have a place where you have to live. They don't have a location. So it means that you can work whatever you want. So we are not going to ask you, our perfect candidate doesn't have to live around the corner of any office. You can live anywhere. You can work anywhere. You can, whatever. But we will ask you to be open-minded. We want people that don't know everything and is happy to accept that. But we want people that wants to learn, people that want to learn. We are happy to help people to learn and to grow. They need to have the good, let's say again, the good mindset also in this topic. You need to want to learn, and you need to be passionate about what you do. Our fuel is your passion. So if you have a huge passion about your job and you are eager to learn to grow on what you're doing, and you want to move and move constantly higher from where you are at the moment, we want you. We have a place for you. We need you, really, because we are growing and the world is huge and we want to conquer the world. So we need you. We need your singularity. We don't want you to become an homogeneous part of something. We're not homogeneous. We have processes and we have ways of doing things that we want to be the Calera way. But we want you as you are. So if you are unique, we need you. We want you. Send your CV. Send your CV, because we are happy to include you in this big project. Yeah, well, we have 22 years, but we are going for
yes, exactly. So
many others.
I would add one thing that is very important. I'm a marketer, so obviously I'm a bit biased on this, but our claim is the trusted CPaaS. So this is possibly the place for someone that has a very high perception of what it means to give quality to customers and what it means to build trust with customers, with investors, with employees. It is valid for any roles, not just for the customer facing roles. So in general, if you are the type of person that is really attentive to detail and actually is able to respect that idea of having promised something to others and that you need to deliver on that promise, that's possibly a place where you would be happy to work. That is something I feel to say, because it was valid for me when hiring the marketing team. Well, I think we can switch to the questions part. We left the last 15 minutes of this webinar for questions coming from the audience. I already see 3 questions. So let me just switch to the Q&A mode. And let me pick the first one. I ask my peers to help me. Okay, so a question from Alberto. Thank you, Alberto. If I may ask, do you know how much percentage is the time spent in Zoom, Teams, or else on a weekly basis? I can answer to that.
Well, it's a non-indifferent amount of time. Most of the communication goes on web calls and on yes, it's I can't tell you a percentage, but it's pretty big.
Okay, Alberto, I can answer for myself. Yes, we got it in meetings. Yes. I manage a team of 11, which is spread across Italy, Spain, and India at the moment. And even in India, people don't meet each other because they live in different cities. So, and everybody's working from home. So basically, my whole communication with the team has to happen digitally. So most of the time, we try to avoid setting up video calls for everything, because that would kill our agenda. And we try to use Slack as a chat as much as possible. We use WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp group. We use emails. I would say possibly less than any other channels, because we tend to use it only for the official stuff. And we use a lot of video calls. But it's not because we want to engage in infinite meetings. It's because when you are in a video call, you see each other's faces. Nelia was mentioning that before. A lot of the communication we do is non-verbal, and that part is completely lost when you write a Slack message. So on my side, my own life, I can speak for myself, it's about a 50% of the time, which is a lot. And it's because I'm a manager and it's because I manage an international team. So my situation is, a bit of a nightmare from that point of view. I agree with you. I guess that in other roles it's less, lucky them. And in some roles it will be even more, because I guess that a salesperson spends mostly all their time in Zoom
Yeah.
and meetings. I mean, it's part of our new life. It's part of this new normal that I personally hate, but we cannot do anything else.
Yeah, but it has some positive points. This meeting probably you had to do them before going from one place to another, and now you just change a link and you are in the next meeting. Obviously, you don't have the same amount of meetings that you had before. You have more meetings, but it's part of the new model of communication that we need to implement for the new situation. Working from home ask you to stay online more than was if you were at the office. So yeah, I think that a 50% for some people is the media probably.
Yeah,
And depending
I would
on
say
who you're
I would.
working, you have teams that, sorry, Valeria, you have teams that work just regionally, like finance team, maybe
Yeah,
have to connect with people in India, other states, or somewhere else, just few times and not every day, so they can work more with their peers, finding each other at the office, or it's different. But most of our teams in particular are everywhere based. So the majority of the employees have many Zoom and team meetings every day. Yes.
yes. I would add one other positive thing, Alberto. If you maybe that's only an Italian thing, but maybe it's global. When you don't have digital meetings, you tend to have new meetings coming in that are totally unexpected, because you are in the office and people pick you and tell you, can we speak about that? Can we
Yes.
speak about this? This doesn't happen when you work digitally, because everybody is very respectful of your agenda and the time you set when you approve or don't approve a meeting. So I
Yes.
think it has also positive sides, apart from what Nelia said. But again,
Yeah,
some
that's
people
another
that,
thing.
yeah,
We
some
have
people
we have
that,
all our calendars shared, so everybody can see everybody's calendar. So meetings are organized according to your calendar and the person that you need to meet. So I agree with you, Valeria.
okay, we hope we answered your question. Thank
Yeah.
you for asking. Let me just pick another question by Prajod. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. Prajod is asking, why is that there is an interest in unique people? Unique in what sense? Is Kalera unique? Okay, I answer for the Kalera unique part because, again, I'm a marketer. Kalera is unique in the sense that this story that it has makes it unique. Every company, every group of people is basically the result of all the stories and experiences of the single people that make it. So yes, Kalera is unique as any other company is. But we feel unique in the sense that our story, our diversity makes it so that we have very different points of view. And so, in my opinion, being unique is important because bringing a unique perspective to the problems that we have, to the situations that we deal with, creates more diversity of perspectives and actually better solutions than
Yes.
choosing homogeneous people that think all the same. I don't know, Nelia, maybe you want to add something.
No, it's perfect like that. What I meant when I said unique is that you know that you are one in a kind. We are all one in a kind, but there are people that know that, and you know that you are unique. And there are so many other people that wants to be just in the media of everything and don't want to stay. Let me here. I'm so relaxed and quiet here in my comfort zone. Let me here. I just want to be one more in the sea. And we need people that don't want to be just another fish in the sea. We want people that understand that they are already unique. Unique in the sense of understanding of how they can contribute being themselves.
Yes, and be willing to,
Yeah. Yes. That want to be something, and it's fine. You have people that want to work in a small company where things don't happen, where you do every day the same thing, and it's perfect. But we can't guarantee that you will have a work like that. You need to be someone that wants to face challenge, embrace challenge, and be able to grow with the company, because we're still growing. So we can't afford to have people that don't want to work, that don't want to grow. We all need to grow. So we all need to begin to grow with the company.
Yes, one thing that inspired me is that when I did the interview with my manager, he asked me to criticize the company. He wanted to know that I was bold enough to say what I was thinking, even if it wasn't nice to hear. No, and this is a treat that we have at Kalera. I mean, it's normal that they ask you at the interview sometimes, because it happens every day in the company.
Yes.
People are not afraid of receiving bad feedback.
And not only, we have, as I said, we have our calendars all shared. Even the CEO, Dario Calogero, has his calendar shared with all of us. And you can just pick a spot and organize a meeting with him. That is unique. That is pretty unique. So we want that kind of person that take the chance and don't spread the chance to fix a meeting with the CEO whenever he can. So that's unique.
Okay, let's go to another question from Pani Kumar Kotipali. Okay. Hello, how do you see work from home could impact productivity?
Well, for us, we are, all our job is practically online, so shouldn't impact in a negative way. The truth is that considering what the results that we had last year, it is not impacting in a negative way. If I had to tell you what I think, for Kalera, I think that will be a great opportunity because it will impact in a very positive way, because we will be able to hire people with high potential and a lot of skills from everywhere and make that person work for us in the best way possible. So if I don't have to ask you to move you and your family and change school for your kids and learn a new language or learn how to live in a new neighborhood, because I am happy to have you at your home where you lived since forever and your kids at the same school and you are relaxed on that and you are happy living there, you will work better. So it's a win-win situation. So I think that the work from home structure and system will be a huge positive impact for us.
Great. So let's see some feedback. Prajod actually likes that our values include learning agility.
Yes.
Alberto is happy about the answer we got. Oh, we have a related question from Anisha. Anisha, oh, sorry if I pronounce your name is in a wrong way. How do you help your employees maintaining work-life balance? So this is partially related. I guess you partially answered already, but
yeah.
I'm a
Well, first of
mother.
all, we
You're a
trust.
mother.
Yes, yes. Well, first thing, we trust you. If you are an employee, we trust you. We don't have to take care of your work-life balance. You have to take care of your work-life balance. What we have to do is give you the chance. And Kalera gives you the chance to manage your work-life balance in a proper way. Because at the end, it's not that we hired you and we became your mom and dad that tells you, no, cut your connection, go to pick up your kid or stop to eat. No, we don't have to tell you that. We are working with grown people, professional people. So we trust them, we empower them to manage their lives. So you have our employees can manage their work-life balance, how they think that is the best for them and for the company. We our place, our responsibility here is to entitle you to do that, is to allow you to do that. And we do that. We allow you to manage your work-life balance. We have a lot of people that do that in a great way, and we have other people that struggle with that. And it's okay. If you're struggling with that, you can come and ask for help. And we will help you. But we are not taking decisions for our people.
Well, another question about applications. This is interesting. When sorry, I'm sharing it. There are many ones coming. So when I apply for a role at Kalera, am I sure I will get 100% smart work, remote work?
No, it's not 100% guaranteed. I think that the only thing that is guaranteed 100% is just that. Apart from that, nothing is 100% guaranteed. What we can guarantee 100% is that we are being open to talk about that, to negotiate about that. You will have the chance to negotiate about that. You will not be excluded of any kind of recruitment process because you asked for smart working or flexible hours. We can guarantee you that. You can talk very clear about what your needs are, and you will be not excluded of the process for that. That is for sure a guarantee.
Yes, I would also say that. I mean, I was hired remotely, and that was part of the conversation I had at the beginning. Yeah. Before starting working here. So you can have a conversation. Worst case, your role is not compatible with a 100% smart work or remote work. You can always decide not to join, but it will be part of the conversation without any bias.
Yes.
I mean, it happened for me, so I can
yes,
guarantee.
And you can always come to us with a personal solution for the issue, and we can just talk about that for sure. Yeah. It's not this the point that will be that will exclude anybody from the recruitment process. That's for sure.
Okay, we have another question in regards to feedback after an application. So if after an application, someone unique receives a very good feedback, but is not accepted because he lacks a technical skill that he is willing to learn, what is your advice?
If you applied for a position that is that over your technical skills, that you've been rejected or you didn't arrive to the end of the path, my advice is, if you want to work in a position like that, prepare yourself for that, because maybe you are not accepted now. It doesn't mean that in 6 months you can come and you learn something in these 6 months that makes you the perfect candidate for that position. So my advice is keep studying, keep preparing yourself for what you want to achieve, because obviously if you apply for a position that is pretty over your skills, you need to still working on that, and don't give up. Still looking on our open positions, and if you really want to work with us, you will find a way to be working with us. That's for sure. You will have the chance to, but you need to. Obviously, we know that if something is missing, that we can, I know that you can learn very fast, you will not be excluded for technical skills. If you are excluded for technical skills, it means that you are far from what we need. It doesn't mean that you will be there forever. So keep trying.
Yes, exactly. It is better to be rejected because of lacking a technical skill than because of personality issues.
Yes.
That's much better.
Yes.
So, I mean, technical skills, you can always acquire them. There are people that start studying at 60 and they learn a lot of things. So why not? I mean, I don't see that as a big problem. Maybe it's not now. What I suggest in general is, if you have been rejected because of a lack of a skill, maybe take some time to learn that, decent time to learn that properly before you apply again. Because if you apply again after 2 weeks, that's not possibly an acceptable time to ask again for being reevaluated. We have another
Yes, you need
question.
to redimension you need to redimension your expectations. Maybe you are really applying for something that you're not prepared. So, and as I said, we're still growing. So
okay, let's answer 2 other questions and then we finish the webinar because we are already over time. How big the time size will be?
That depends on the area that you are working on. For saying HR, it's a small group. Let's say we are 7 or 8, but technical, the tech group is enormous. So depends on where you, for what position you are applying. But usually they are all subdivided by smaller groups. Like, I don't know, Valeria, correct me if I'm wrong, but something like 6, 8, 10, 15 people.
Yeah, and in general, when a team becomes too large, some management, a part of it is delegated to a second line manager. So it's not that you have like 11 direct reports. It's that at some point the team is verticalized so that it can be managed properly. There is one other question in regards to interviewing and recruiting. And the question is, do you do 100% remote interviewing and recruiting? Can I apply for a role without actually coming to the office?
Yes. At the moment, we are constrained. I have to say that we are constrained. In some places in the world, we can even do it if we want. But at the moment, yes, there are some few places where maybe people can be can be invited to the office, but it's very rare. Now all the interviewing and recruiting is online.
Okay, I received a question
Since last year, everybody has been
interviewed in Zoom.
Yeah.
I guess you want to take that Zoom call.
Yes.
So one last question that appeared to me in a private chat, but it's okay to share. Okay, how to share if we can add value to the company after understanding requirements? So I guess this means how can we actually showcase at the best the value we can create once that we have read the job description and understood the requirements of it. So what is the best way to apply and deliver the idea that we add value to the company?
For sure, don't Google the answers. Don't give us the standard answers for the questions that you will be asked. Give us your own answers. And most of all, show who you are. You don't need to prepare for the interviews. Show how you are. And we have a great talent management team that is working on recruitment. They will catch the value if you really have it. Just be who you are and bring solutions. We need people who offer solutions and not just bring issues. So tell us why you can be a Calerian, and most of all, tell us why you want us, because that is very important. We need to know that you really want to work with us. It's a two-way road. So yeah, show us, tell us very openly why you want to work with us. We will be happy to listen.
I would add that if you add any like attachments, if you're a marketer or a customer facing person, or if you ever had any opportunity to represent your company to an audience, like in this webinar today, any attachment that you put that tells your story better than your CV and distinguishes you from the competition, maybe it's useful. But also the cover letter is critical. I think that, oh, you're writing to me. Okay, seeing what you do as work, I think that attachments are key to actually being distinguished from the others that apply for the same role. Well, I think we have gone much over time. So thank you, Nelia, for staying with us for so long. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Thank you for your questions. Any questions that you have, you can write to the email that you see here in the slide, and we will answer to you in the next couple of days. And you will receive the recording anyway after the webinar. So just wait for it in case you want to re-watch it. And thanks again. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Have a nice day. Bye.